Hi, this is Raj, your host, Unleashing Talent, and welcome on today's podcast. Today, we would discuss the importance of the sense of ownership and accountability in any organization. As a leader, it is absolutely imperative for you to understand the psychology of employee engagement and how the sense of ownership and accountability have an impact on employees' engagement. So, if an employee takes that sense of ownership and accountability, the employee is a high engaged employee. And remember, all of us have gone through various engagement surveys and reports, and we know that if your percentage of disengaged employees increases, there is a definite loss to the organization. It will have an impact on your culture, it will have an impact on your business, it will have an impact on your revenue, your profitability, and overall organizational capability to sustain and grow in the changing environment. So, as a leader, you have to understand that the engagement and the sense of ownership are complementary to each other. Understand what is accountability. Also, understand what is ownership and how these two come in the employees. What is it that you do as a leader that makes your people more accountable, more responsible, and they take ownership? It does not come automatically. As a leader, you have to make efforts, create a culture, provide autonomy, give people responsibility. First of all, uh, understand the very psychology of ownership. Remember, you can give the accountability or you can hold someone accountable for certain tasks and duties, but if the individual has to go extra mile, has to take initiatives, has to be creative and innovative, it has to come from within. And that is what we call intrinsic motivation. People need to feel motivated to give their best, go that extra mile, and contribute to the organization. And that is what the organizations are looking for. On the other hand, people are also looking for organizations where they have the freedom and autonomy to do experiments, learn, grow, thrive, and contribute. But that does not happen easily. As a leader, you have to create that conducive environment where people feel that they can contribute and they can take ownership. So that's what understanding the accountability and ownership and understanding how it happens. It is also a kind of transition from manager to a leader. It is not about managing, it is about leading people. It is helping people find themselves. It is helping people find their strengths. It is helping people understand their worth in the organization, their value in the organization. It is about respecting people for their strengths and for their ideas and for their capability. That's what the accountability and ownership is all about. Once you understand what it is, then you have to understand the key barriers in your organization that come your way. At the next level, you have to understand the barriers that are stopping you from moving to a high engaged employees, which eventually will have employees taking more ownership. Then the next important thing that is important is inculcating the growth mindset for you as a leader. So you have to believe that people have inherent talent and potential and they want to give their best and go that extra mile. So you have to coach and mentor people, and you yourself need to have that positive and right belief as a leader you need to have the growth mindset yourself first, and then you go extra mile as a leader, and people copy you. People appreciate leaders who go extra mile. People appreciate leaders who are role models. So the second stage is laying a very strong foundation for employees engagement through the ownership and accountability, or those values. Then on that foundation, you start thinking of building a sustainable organization where people understand what is shared vision, leverage each other's strengths within the organization, and you as a leader understand some of the character strengths that would help you build a strong organization. And the last, you create that culture, you foster the culture of ownership from top to bottom. As a leader, you can have meetings where uh, you can do proper communications, you can hold meetings with the employees, make employees part of certain processes and policies, make employees understand where the organization is heading, make employees understand the value of their contribution, make employee understand the rewards and recognition and their career growth and learning and so on and so forth. By doing all of these, you should be able to build a sustainable organization through building the sense of ownership and accountability. So I think if you understand what accountability and ownership is, if you are capable of laying down a very strong foundation that would help build an engaged workforce for your organization, and then you take measures to continue to work on these lines so that your organization becomes sustainable and you have the differential advantage. Let me give you one example of how this can be helpful. If your employee is 20% less engaged, then maybe you have the productivity loss of an hour, and your billing rate for an hour is $20. So one employee contributes to loss of $20 just because he or she is not engaged, and 20% employees out of 10,000 is 2,000 employees every day incurring a cost of $20, and that goes every day for years and years and years. That's the kind of, and imagine on the other side that when people take ownership, when they go extra mile, when they feel part of the organization, when they feel the part of those success stories, when they understand where organization is going and where collectively people are going, then everything that they do, they feel accomplished, and they understand the value of their contribution and how their contribution translates into the revenue and profitability of the organization, and how there's a share for them as well. I thought I would discuss these ideas. You could continue to study more on the accountability and ownership. Well, thank you for joining me on this podcast on the sense of ownership and accountability and its importance towards organizational success. We have great training programs on other leadership topics. You're welcome to join our podcast. You are welcome to subscribe our podcast and start your learning journey. Well, thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.